This is the third vision. This is the one that took the longest from beginning to end for me to understand. Um, I received the first part of this when I received my second vision, so probably about 7 years ago, and this one was more akin to the first, the vision of the two foxes, because it was just events that really happened in front of me, that even when they were happening the first time, I was like, this seems significant. Like there's some sort of a significance to these events that I just witnessed, but I don't know what they are. And I kept praying about it and praying about it and praying about it, and I never understood what it was. And finally, about maybe 9 months ago, almost a year ago, the Lord gave me what was the second half, and then it all made sense. And so that's was then, and I'm making these videos now. I've been carrying this around for long enough, and now it's the time to share it with everybody. So the third vision, the first part of what I saw, the first part of the chiastic structure, I'll give you a really brief chiastic structure, chiastic. You can look it up. It's a thing that's a way that the Bible is divided, and it's topical, and it basically, it starts with topic whatever, A, and then B, and then C, and it goes on as much as it has to, and then it usually will work itself in backwards. So C1, C, B1, A1, and they sort of start with the topic, and then the second half refers back to the first half. The theme is revisited. Sometimes they go like this, and then they go like that again. This one's very simple. It's A, B, B, A, okay? The first thing that I saw, it was night. I'll set the scene. It was nighttime, and it was cold. It was wintertime outside. And I walked into this big garage, this building, and I really did this stuff. It was just something that happened. And I was looking at my dogs, and they had both had pups lately, and one of them we had sold, and one of them she mostly had most of her pups still. And she was the one that had most of her pups. This is what's called the first dog for the purpose of this vision. Was laying in her little nest thing that I had made, the bottom of a doghouse with a bed, and had most of her pups, and looked at me like, "Oh, hey, master, nothing's wrong here. Why'd you come out here to wake me up?" And on the other side of the shop was our other dog we had already sold her pups off, and she was not doing so hot. She had contracted a case of mastitis, and so her teats were all open and were all, it's a course of the healing, and were nasty looking. And she was laying down on just garbage. It was black plastic sheeting that was kind of rolled up and was over there. And she was just kind of laying in that garbage, and I turned on the light and I looked at her, and I look at the first dog and I go over and look at that one, and she sees me and kind of quickly gets up and kind of trots outside into the darkness, into the cold. And I walk back and I'm like, man, this seems like something. And then years later, last year, I'm out in my new garage, and I walk into my shop again on the side. It's much smaller this time. Both dogs are there. And they're both in fine health, and all this is no more pups related. And I have a bunch of beef tallow, a bunch of beef fat, and I'm going to feed some to the dogs. And the second dog, the one who had been sick, in real life, she's like kind of fat. She's a little overweight, and so I'm trying to slim her down. But the first dog, the one that was in a good condition, she's a little bit skinny, and so I need to kind of fatten her up a little bit. And so I have this, I throw little scraps to the second dog, to get it to be distracted over there, because it's bigger and is going to take the real treat from the first dog, which is smaller. And so I give that one to her, and I set her outside, and the first dog is stuck inside of this place. So she's contained, and she has the scraps, but the first dog got to go out and eat the real big reward. Those two things, very shortly after I did that with those dogs, was when the Lord let me realize, hey, remember way back when that thing happened with those two dogs, and then just now you just did this thing? They're related. It's a chiastic. And I wrote it down, and I said what happened, and he said, look, it's a chiastic structure, and the difference is the thing that the chiastic is pointing to, the middle piece, the most important part, is preparation, and it's the result of the preparation. It's the first dog is the more favored one. She is in with her pups, which are taken care of. She has a bed which is taken care of and is fine. and she doesn't even really know that something bad is happening. The second dog has her pups have been taken away from her. She's bereft of her pups. Her body is not doing so hot. She's in bad physical health. Her surroundings are not good. She's in garbage, and she quickly gets up and runs to the darkness, which is significant, the darkness outside in the cold. Then we flip down to the second half. Here's the resolution of the movie. The first dog, the one that didn't really know what was going on, is rewarded and set free. And the second dog, the one that was kind of in a bad way and ran out to the darkness, is confined and given scraps. If we look at what has happened to those dogs, the first one left quickly and went out to the darkness, where it had bad health, and then it got led to worse things. And the first dog had its pups and was fine, and then ended up enduring something and being rewarded and set free. The instance of this, the significance of this is that you got to prepare now. You got to prepare now. If you want to be like the first fox, if you want to get out and have the easy time and not get sick and killed, you have to be prepared early so that you can sort of just be in this nest of protection while the bad stuff and the cold and the darkness is happening outside and you don't even know. And because you're well provisioned for it, you don't have to leave that thing to go out into the darkness, to go out into the beast system, to stay in the city. And at the end, you'll be set free. You know, I've seen some other stuff. It didn't seem nearly as profound. These are like these visions that I clearly knew that the Lord was giving me. Some of the other ones is just small stuff. Like I've been seeing, you know, the animal leaving. It's getting ready to go. It's like the time is now. And other things that make me think there's going to be like one period of endurance or judgment, and then several periods of grace. So you just have to be able to make it through that first period of judgment so that you can make it into the part where you're set free and rewarded. You know, what does it say in Daniel? Blessed is he who endures through these number of days. So I'm not picking days. I'm not picking a date. I have different things that maybe I can talk about in a different video, but these are the three visions. This video, the other ones, the time to act is now.